says that Yah has chosen the land of Israel and the people of Israel. Let all the world rejoice. Do we have any other choice? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3, the Torah portion, Bahar, meaning on the mount. Let's go back to the book of Vayikra, Leviticus, chapter 25, and read verse 8 and following. And you shall count 7 Shabbats of years for yourself, 7 times 7 years. And the time of the 7 Shabbats of years shall be to you 49 years, 7 cycles of 7. You shall then sound a shofar, sound on the 10th day of the 7th new moon on Yom HaKippurim. Cause a shofar to sound through all your land. You shall set the 50th year apart and proclaim release throughout all the land to all of its inhabitants. It is a Yovel for you, and each of you shall return to his possession, and each of you return to his clan. So, Yovel being Jubilee, as we commonly call it. Yah decrees that in his land, that there is to be this observance of Shemitah every 7th year, 7 times in 7 cycles, counting 49 years. The land has had 7 years of rest, and then it gets an additional year of rest. The Yovel, the Jubilee, the Great Reset. This is not the political call for a Great Reset that we're currently hearing about. This is a spiritual reset that has physical realm realities. All debts are canceled. Land goes back to the original heirs. Prison doors are open and people are set free. Everything is reset so that the land, the people, the society, and things spiritual get back to where they're supposed to be. Yah says that this people belong to him. If we go over the book of Exodus, chapter number 19, we read the following, if I can get to it. Verse 4, 5, and 6. You have seen what I did to the Mitzrites and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you, Israel, to myself. And now if you diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all peoples. Listen to what he says. For all the earth is mine. Yah lays claim to the entire earth. And you shall be to me a reign of priests and a set-apart nation. These are the words which you are to speak to the children of Israel. Yah has chosen the people of Israel. Devarim, chapter number 10, verse number 12 and following. And now, Israel, what is Yahweh your Elohim asking of you but to fear Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in all of his ways, to love and to serve Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, to guard the commands of Yahweh and his laws which I command you today for your good. See, verse 14, the heavens and the heaven of heavens belong to Yahweh your Elohim. Also, the earth and all that is in it. Yahweh delighted only in your fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, you above all peoples, as it is this day. Psalms chapter number 24. You can probably quote this before I can read it. The earth belongs to Yahweh and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Yah owns everything. He has chosen the land of Israel as his own special domain to reveal himself, and then he has chosen the people of Israel to live there that he might be revealed through them. So, Yah made a covenant promise to Abraham that he would bring his descendants back to this land, that they would be in servitude for over 400 years, and then he would bring them back. So out of all of the peoples in the earth, Yah chose one man, Abraham. He chose not only Abraham, but his seed. And then there's the contentious story about who is going to be declared the seed. There was a contention between Ishmael and Yitzhak, or Isaac, and between Esau and Yaakov, or Esau and Jacob. And then among the sons of Yaakov, who was going to continue to be the seed? Well, he chose the family, not just the individual. And so he sees them as those who belong in the land. And he promises to bring them back to his land to work his land, not as slaves, but as heirs. Yah could have legitimately, because of who he is, brought Israel back and employed them as slaves. He chose not to. He gave them ownership in the land. Yah is not seeking to bring us into his kingdom to mandate his law like a rod of iron wrapped around our heads, or wrapped over our heads, but he's bringing us into the kingdom with a sense of ownership, invested ownership. This is a kingdom of which we are not only citizens, but we are participants, blessed, favored, set apart, acknowledged, and distinguished citizens and participants. The mark that determines who are the children and thus the heirs versus those who are the slaves is the keeping and observing of Shabbat. It's that simple. Shabbat has been debated about, are you worshiping on the seventh day or the first day? Christianity says, well, it's the Jews who worship on Saturday. And the Jews have said, well, it's the Christians who worship on Sunday. It's more than that. It's more than just a differentiation between Jews and Christians. This is Yah who has set the seventh day apart. And it is Yah who calls those who belong to him, that are his heirs, that are his family, that are his children, to come and to rest with him while he takes care of them on the Shabbat, distinguishing them then, you're not a slave to me, you're family. You belong as a child of the king, seated at the king's table. The next time someone grimaces when you say, I observe Shabbat, when they can't understand why you don't want to go work on Shabbat or enjoy your favorite hobby and pastime, we don't set our foot to our own pleasure on that day. This is about the king. This is about our master. This is about our sovereign Yah, and we serve him. We love him. He loves us. We sit at the king's table as his children on that day. And it marks us. Then when you take that same set apart attitude into the observance of working the land, Yah says, you sit at my table, and even when you don't plant, I will put food on your plate. He says, as you continue to read in this chapter, in the 48th year, I will give you such an overwhelming abundance of a crop that it will carry you through the Shemitah year of year 49 and through the Yovel year of year 50, and you will have to clean it out and from its remaining part out of your storehouses to make room then for the next renewing cycle, year one of that next cycle. When you bring that crop in, you'll have to clean out the old in order to bring in the new. Yah knows what he's doing. We have to trust him because he owns us. We are his, and he owns the earth. Not as slaves, but your family. Rejoice in your family status today. And we'll talk more tomorrow. Then shalom.